guys, and welcome back to another movie review. Another one that's not at all a new movie, but one that's new to me because I had never seen it before, but I've been meaning to for hella long, and that is Ralph Wrecks the Internet. Wreck-It Ralph 2. I guess the other way around. Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet. But anyways, I've wanted to see it ever since it came out. It just was one of those things where didn't really have access to it without paying for it, so I was waiting for it to hit either TV or one of the streaming services. Finally made its way to Netflix. Actually, I think it did months ago, but I just finally got around to watching it on Netflix. So, anyways, I can finally review it because I watched it. The premise of it, basically it takes place 6 years after the first one, which we only know because of one scene with Fix-It Felix and, what is Jane Lynch's character's name? I forget, but they've been married for 6 years, and that is established point blank in this, so we know this takes place 6 years after the first one. And basically, it otherwise is more or less business as usual in that Ralph and Vanellope are still hanging out every day, they're BFFs, they go to work every day, they go to their respective games, they get off of work, they hang out at Root Beer Tappers, and they do it all over again day in, day out. And Ralph is really, really happy with this, whereas Vanellope is very, very bored with her game never changing, only having like the same 3 tracks over and over again, nothing ever changes. She knows where every obstacle is, everything that's gonna happen before it happens. She knows she's the best racer. There's no challenge in it to her, and she is bored. So Ralph tries to do what he thinks is being a good friend move, which honestly, it was a really sweet move in that he tried to alter her game by making a detour on the track for her so that it would technically be something new. Except, oh shit, the game glitched out. Hard freaking core. Surprise, surprise. Just happened to be with her, but, so badly to where the little girl who happens to be playing it at the time is, like, yanking on the steering wheel of the game and busts it straight off. And she's just like, oh my god, what did I do? And she's trying to get the owner to put it back on. The owner ends up breaking it in half while trying to put it back on the machine. So he's just like, I would just order a new part, but the company who makes this game has been out of business for years. So the kids, of course, all whip out their smartphones and they're like Googling on eBay and they find, oh look, here's a replacement part right here. $200, and he's not about to spend $200, so he decides maybe it's time to retire this machine. So all of the characters from the game make a quick exodus into, like, the lobby area of where all video game characters go after hours normally, but in this case they just flood it midday because, you know, if the game turns off and it's being retired, you know, that's game over permanently for them, and they don't want to die, so they get the hell out of there, and they have nowhere to go. They're essentially homeless now. Thanks, Ralph, basically. So they're basically trying to relocate all these characters anywhere they can fit them for now, and a lot of them are, like, rehoused into Wreck-It Ralph's game because, I mean, they've got, like, that huge apartment building. There's plenty of rooms to put the characters, which is great, except for the racers, which are basically little terrors, and no one wants them, except Fix-It Felix and his wife decide that they're going to be very philanthropic, and they're going to house the girls. And of course they're told that this is a mistake, basically adopting 15 kids, just like that, no thought put into it or anything, no preparation. They basically turn around, the kids are already destroying their house. And, like, the next scene is, like, Ralph at Tappers, and here comes Felix, who's, like, gotta drink his sorrows away, even though it's root beer. Yeah. I don't know, I love the kitschy retro nostalgia of the games that are represented in it, especially that it includes Root Beer Tapper, because I freaking loved Root Beer Tapper growing up. I still do, just I don't really know anywhere to play it anymore. I had a port of it for N64 a while back, but cartridge stopped working, and now I also don't have an N64 because it was my sister's. So, anyway, that aside, that was the last time I got to play it, but even before that, I friggin' loved Root Beer Tapper. Anyways, so, that said, that's something that should really be added into, like, the Nintendo Switch, like, virtual NES arcade on there. Just saying, if anyone from Nintendo is listening, maybe, that'd be great. Anyway, yeah, I know, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, but, so they're trying to figure out what they're gonna do, and Ralph thinks, oh, I'll just go to this eBay place and get another wheel. How hard could it be? So Vanellope and Ralph go into the internet, and it is, like, so freaking amusing, especially as an adult, watching the creative way in which they illustrated what a visual representation of what the internet infrastructure landscape could look like through the eyes of a child. It's basically like this booming metropolis of, like, buildings, but the buildings are different websites. Like, there's Snapchat, there's Google, there's YouTube, although the main one they go into is BuzzTube, which I guess is like BuzzFeed and YouTube at the same time. I don't know. They have Instagram, they have Twitter. They never actually say it by name, but they have little birds, and they're tweeting, and they're retweeting each other. It's very obvious what it is. They have all sorts of freaking websites by name dropped in there. I liked the Pinterest with the giant pin that came through the wall. They just had all sorts of them. I was just like, I am nerding out hardcore right now, and I freaking love this. So they go to eBay, but they don't really understand how eBay works or that it takes money. So the steering wheel that originally was $200, oh no, here came another bidder ahead of them who'd, like, bumped it up to something like $220 or something like that, and they're just like, oh, so all you have to do is, like, blurt out a bigger number? I can do that! So they get into a bidding war with this guy, and before he can even tap out, Vanellope just, like, starts going hard at this, and it's now between Ralph and Vanellope just blurting out numbers till it goes up to, like, 1,000, and then up to, like, 27,000. It's like, stop. But, small flaw in that this is not how eBay would work in real life, especially if they're working together. That'd be one account, and I mean, you can keep throwing maximum bids at eBay, but unless you're being counter bid against, it's not going to go with that. It's just going to go with the lowest, like, next bid above the last guy. So I mean, slight nitpick there, I know, but as somebody who frequents eBay, I'm just like, you're close, but not quite it. I mean, to a little kid, close enough. So they think they've won it, which, I mean, technically on paper they have, except now they have to pay for it. And they're expected to have a credit card number, and Ralph's like, 7? It's like, that's not a credit card number. Oh, I meant, 11. That's not a credit card number either. You need to come up with $27,000. Oh, you mean, like, money? Yeah, no shit. But, I guess this is an important lesson to little kids. Don't play with eBay because it costs actual real-world money. So, he's all trying to figure out, how am I going to come up with $27,000, especially in the 24-hour time frame that they're giving him that he has to come up with the money by. In real life, I think it's something like 3 days you have to pay by or it forfeits, but again, plot point, nitpick. But anywho, so he's suddenly reminded of all the pop-ups that they had to walk past to even get to eBay in the first place, and oh my god, those in and of themselves are hilarious, watching the childish representation of pop-ups as characters. I just laughed so damn hard at all of this, just, like, in the nerdiest way ever. I don't even care. I loved it. But, there was one that was like, get rich quick playing video games. He's like, hey, wait a minute, I know how I can get rich quick. Playing video games. And he goes back and he finds the pop-up. And the guy takes him to, like, this seedy little office that, you know, he's like, I swear, I just had it sprayed by my virus guy, and then there's a virus on the floor he has to stomp out like a cockroach, and oh, that's embarrassing. It's like, oh my god, I love it. So, he brings up what is his scheme to get rich quick playing video games, and apparently it's like a loot box hunter kind of thing. He gives them what apparently are things people online have requested that they will offer X amount of money if you can get this item in the game for me in X amount of time. But the ones that they're like offering to him are like $3, $15. Like, they're small dice. So they ask him, is there anything that could, pay big bucks? He's like, oh yeah, I got one for you. Let me take a sip of my coffee. I have one for you. And he brings up the car from a racing game. And Penelope's like, oh, it's even from a racing game. We got this. And the dude's offering 40 grand for it or something. Okay, we can do that. So they go to this game. And it's basically Grand Theft Auto. Except Disney-fied. But even so, it's like way edgier than I would expect from Disney. And it's amazing. And just point of reference here, the main badass there, the one whose car they have to steal, her name is Shank. Just let that sink in. And she's voiced by Gal Gadot, which makes it that much better. I'm like, oh my god, I love this. So they have to steal her car, and they watch other dudes try to do it before them, and watch them just like get literally massacred to game over, and they're like, oh shit, that happens to us. This isn't even our game. We can't respawn. If we die, we die. So they're like, okay. Plan B. Ralph decides he's gonna, like, pretend he's officer of some sort who's coming to them about a noise complaint. While Penelope's, like, sneaking into the car while none of them are looking. They're trying to figure out who is this guy. And she takes off with the damn car. And they go after her, but they're actually impressed by how well she drives and everything. But, long story short, they do end up catching her and making her basically come this close to crashing to get her to stop and give the car back. And Ralph basically tells the whole story of why they stole the car. And she's sympathetic to an extent. Not enough to let them have the car, mind you, but enough to where she'll help them. She films a video of Ralph that she plans on having be what would become a viral video, really, and sent it to, essentially, YouTube. It's BuzzTube in this. And said, yeah, if that goes viral, yeah, just go talk to the algorithm manager and you'll get your money. So they do, and they're very confused by this. I have to sneeze, hold on. Sorry. So they go, and they're very confused by all of it. They don't quite get how it works. They're confused by people are just throwing hearts at his video, and they're like, okay, I mean, people like it, but what do the hearts do? And the algorithm manager, whose name is Yes, I don't know, tells them that, oh, but the hearts are money. They are converted into real-world money. So he's going viral for all of 15 minutes. So much like real life. But, she's like, oh yeah, and this will just transfer over to your, I forget what they called it, but it was basically Venmo or something, or PayPal. I think they even mentioned PayPal by name, but that wasn't the one they used here, but we'll transfer to that. And so a couple minutes go by, oh, here you go. And it's like $43, but he's like, oh yeah, $43,000. Oh, no, that's $43. He's like, well, that doesn't help. We need a lot more of those. So he asked how all this works, and basically, in a nutshell, he decides he's gonna just look at whatever's trending right now and make his own version of it. Basically, he's Jake Paul and PewDiePie wrapped up in one. So, he films himself doing unboxing videos. He films himself doing, like, the Ghost Pepper Challenge. He films himself doing a baking video, a makeup tutorial, a bee pun. He films himself doing all sorts of crazy shit. He, like, photoshops his face onto, like, a screaming goat. He does, like, all this stuff that is, like, total meme-worthy, he has now become a part of. I freaking love it. Again, laughed way more at it than I probably should have. And all of them, yeah, they are legit bringing him money. For just how fast that it happens and all, and how fast it got discovered, I'm like, I take issue with them making it sound like it's that easy to little kids, because you know there's gonna be little kids who watch this, and they're like, oh, I just want to be a YouTuber when I grow up then. Oh, I miss thinking that that was actually a lucrative thing. But anyways, so there's that, and he's just making them left and right and left and right and left and right. And he's pretty much got it, even though he's like down to like something like 8 hours left now, and he's just like cranking out these videos one after the other as fast as he can to just pull that money because he loves his friend so much. He just wants to help her get back to her game. Unfortunately, while Vanellope was in the GTA-esque game, she kind of fell in love with it because it's unpredictable and dangerous and scary but exciting, and she's like, this is everything I wanted in a game, I just want to live here. He's like, yeah, you can't, it's too dangerous, I'm not gonna let you do that, blah 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 blah, and gets like all sorts of clingy and overprotective to the point where it's like really codependent and bad. And this is about the point where I think a lot of people are gonna start feeling like they can relate to Ralph in some way or another. Myself included. But anyway, so, that said, the more that he tries to fight it, the more Vanellope pulls away. Obviously, because that is what happens in real life too, but anyways, he eventually comes up with the money, but he stumbles into the dark abyss of the comment section. Which, I mean, is literally a room of screens of comments scrolling across different videos, I guess, all at once. Just towering pillars of comments. Like, floor to ceiling. It's amazing. And they're nice at first. He's like, oh, they're talking about me! And then it starts getting to mean comments, although their idea of mean comments are like, Ralph stinks. Yeah, I hate that guy. It's like, that is so tame. I wish that's all I had to contend with as far as hate comments go, but they had to make it kid-friendly, so it is what it is. But anywho, so he gets really down on himself for that, and Yes comes along, is like, oh, you found the comments section. Rule number 1 of the internet, never read the comments section, and you know what? I think, especially in a world like ours where social media is not going away, yeah, that's probably a pretty good piece of advice to drill into little kids' heads from, like, a really young age. Just saying. I mean, the more you can ignore the comments and the haters, the better off you are. Just throwing that out there. But anyway, he gets really down on himself. He goes to call Vanellope, say, hey, I have your money, we're getting your wheel, we're going home, and calls her on basically what's more or less this little, I don't know what you would call it, it's kind of like the thing in Star Wars where you can see the projected holograms of each other, like a FaceTime-y kind of deal, I don't know what you would call it, but they have those. But she has him on mute, and she's not even looking at her phone, whatever you want to call it. She's talking to the chick in the GTA game. Again. Which makes him all sorts of mad and jealous and upset and clingy-tastic. Yeah, it gets ugly fast. Somewhere in there, she decided she wanted to help by also spreading pop-ups for his videos too. And there was like a kid-friendly Disney World in there. Not literally Disney World, but I mean, it is a land of, like, Disney websites. So, she's in there, and one of probably my favorite scenes in the entire thing was her stumbling into the cast room full of the princesses. This was like the trailer for the film, was this scene, or at least an abridged version of it. I'm pretty sure any of you watching this review have probably seen that already, but it's good. It's good. I don't want to give too much away on that, but I loved it. It's like every Disney princess trope ever is in there. So there's that. And she decides she is technically a princess, even though she can't sing. But they tell her, oh yeah, you have to sing into, like, magical water, because that's what we do, and we have revelations about ourselves. So she's going around looking for any pool of water to sing into, and it's just not working. She's, like, trying to sing into a puddle, just anywhere, not working. So she figures, yeah, I suck. Some princess I am. But anyway, Ralph gets so damn overjealous to where he goes to the damn dark web. It's an actual place in this. It is like the seedy underbelly of the internet, which, I mean, technically, yeah, the dark web is in real life too, but I mean, the way they depict it in this, oh my god. Oh my god. I want to applaud whoever came up with just the designs for these scenes. Like, the creativity here is amazing. He basically asked the sketchy pop-up guy if there was a way to, like, make the GTA-esque game get, like, slow and buggy to where it wouldn't be exciting for Vanellope anymore and she would just want to come back to her own game. He's like, oh yeah, there's ways. Oh, there's ways. So he takes him to the dark web and basically hooks him up with what is essentially, like, a mobster who gives him a virus to unleash in this game. And this particular virus thrives on insecurities in the system. I like the duality of how they went about literal system insecurities in, like, the real world sense, but they also, in this particular usage, had it literally go after the characters' insecurities and replicate those to crash the game. I thought that was a great play on words and a way of illustrating it where kids could get it, even though it's not quite how it works in real life. I mean, it's close enough to where you get the idea that, you know, they're bad. They're bad. It basically ends up launching a DDoS attack, which is like, oh shit. And he was told that as long as it stays within that game, everything will be okay. We all know it's not going to stay contained to that game. So it starts glitching out the game, and Vanellope has to get the hell out of there before it restarts or she'll die. She is gotten out of there, and she's all freaked out and self-loathing, like, oh my god, it's all my fault, and blah 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 blah. He's like, it's kind of not, it's actually kind of my fault. And she's like, your fault? What did you do? So he explains the virus, and she gets all sorts of pissed off and decides she never wants to talk to him again. He's like, no. And around this point, excuse me, the virus makes its way out of the game and decides to infect the entire damn internet. So it now has set its sights on Ralph and his insecurities and is replicating monsters of that all over the internet to take down everything. And it is kind of terrifying to watch. Not to mention, it is also sort of a self-reflective thing on people's insecurities about similar things and just how ugly that is and makes a person when you're seeing it from the outside perspective, which is even a thing that gets brought up in the movie. Anyways, long story short, he's still trying to save Vanellope despite everything. They do have to work together to, like, take down the insecurity virus. I don't really know how to describe it in words, how they went about it, but again, if you watch it, you'll know, so you should do that. But, they do eventually end up saving the day, and blah blah blah, and they come to agree to disagree, in that, yeah, she does want to stay in this other game, and make it her home. And, the GTA character that she befriended put her code into the game to where she could respawn, she would be totally safe there. Nothing will happen to her for being in it, and Ralph has to learn to let go, and he doesn't have to be with her 24/7 to be her best friend, which is, I guess, an important life lesson that we should be teaching kids pretty young. And that it doesn't matter if we're right there every second of the day, it doesn't even matter if you talk every day, just knowing that they're there, and that you will get to see them and talk to them from time to time. You can still be friends, even like that. So he goes about living his own life, she's living her own life. He sees that, you know, things actually are okay this way, and they might actually be better like this. And since he still bought the wheel, the game was still saved for the other 15 racers, so it's back in action, all of the racers are back in the game. Fix-It Felix and his wife are, like, on the sidelines, cheering him on and everything, giving him pep talks from the bleachers, and they're, like, perfectly behaved children now, just from however long the movie took place over. But, it's cute, though. It's really cute. And in true Disney form, well, actually, before I get to that, there is a point where the princesses saved Ralph in, like, a switch on all the princess tropes where it's like, oh, a big strong man who is in need of saving, and they, like, go all out, like, joining forces to save him. It's cute. It's a little cheesy, but it's cute. Like, they went a little over the top on the girl power thing. I mean, I appreciate the effort, but the way they did it, it's like, tweak it like this much and it would have been perfect, but pretty close. Pretty close. I liked it though. But it was cute. And like I was saying, in true Disney fashion, most of their films nowadays have Easter eggs all throughout the credits, and usually additional little scenes during them or after them. This had both. In addition to like 2 little extra scenes during and after the credits, we also have all sorts of little Easter eggs there's icons and apps and things off to the sides of the credits, and if you like pay attention to them, they are hilarious. Just take my word on this. If you've seen it and didn't pay attention to that, go back, look at them. Actually, I would say even when they're showing the metropolis of the internet, it's kind of worth it to like pause and look around at what all they included. Just because there's so much there, but it goes by like that and you will miss it. And I know they did that on purpose because the parents who bought this for their kids are gonna have to be sitting through this damn movie like 10 million times because that's how little kids are. So they want to give them some sort of bone to where, you know, it'll be a little less mind-numbing to sit through when there's something new to watch for every time, you know? But there's 2 additional scenes. One is rather dark, turning one, involving a bunny and a kitty, that literally made me go, oh my god, that they actually went there. That's all I'm saying. If you have cut out before the credits before, again, go back, watch that. And the other one, we got rickrolled by Disney. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Spoiler, but we got rickrolled by Disney. I knew when I was reading the credits and I saw in the songs, Never Gonna Give You Up, I was like, I don't remember that being in this. Oh, there it is. It was like a fake trailer for Frozen 2 and like about 5 seconds in, Never Gonna Give You Up. I'm like, oh my god! What the hell, Disney? What the hell? It's like Ralph singing it. It's so fucking funny. I don't know. I found it hilarious. It's really enjoyable. Even if you are a grown-ass adult, even if you have no kids, I have no kids, you will enjoy it. I think you will find it's actually really cute and well done. I liked it. I'm pretty sure I would give this like a 5-star rating. I really, really enjoyed it. I would watch the hell out of it again. It's really good. I think I liked it more than the original, and I loved the original, so just saying. Wow, I've been going on about this movie for half a friggin' hour. I should shut up, so I think I'll do that. Anyway, guys, you know what to do. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe, hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload. Leave comments down below. Have you seen this movie? What did you guys think of it? What were some of your favorite parts of it? Or just anything about anything at all, leave it all down below in the comments. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, my Etsy, everything and more. It's all down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. So anyway, guys, till next time, bye-bye.